Hey everyone, and welcome back to Joy at Work. It's Friday, July 16, 2021, and I hope you're doing well, staying safe. I can't believe the summer is almost over, and wow, where'd the time go? And I'm balancing on a balance board here as I try to record this. It's the first time I'm doing this, so we'll see how it goes, but got to try something different. So here's the deal. I've had a number of people reach out to me and say, share your thoughts on the whole return to the office situation. And it's a loaded question, so I got to be a bit careful about what I say here. But I'll start off by saying this, and I've said this in my very first video when I talked about joy at work. I said three things that influence your experience at work the most are who you work quote unquote for. So your leader, your manager, your supervisor, whatever term you want to give it, who you work with, the people you work with, who's on your team, who do you have to interact with to get work done, and the work that you do. And those three things are important. They influence your experience at work. And anytime one of those three things is off, or anytime any of them is off, candidly, your experience at work is negatively impacted. And if it just so happens that all three are off, then of course you need to probably change something in that situation. And so, with the return to the office and not return to work, I don't like that phrase return to work because we've been working this entire time. But with the return to office, what that really brings back into focus is the experience you have in person with the people that you work with, if that was a situation before. The reality is we don't know the long-term effects of our new working model. For many of us, it seems like it works well right now, but that's the way things always are for human beings. You know, we work best with short-term and immediate results. That's kind of what propels us to keep going on. We get positive feedback in this moment, and we do the same thing until something happens, and then we alter and make shifts. So nobody knows how this is going to play out. We just know that for now a lot of people like it because it uh, softens the load for a variety of reasons. Russell Ackoff often talked about sins of omission. And sins of omission are the things that we should be doing, but we're not doing. And these are the worst kinds of sins because we don't know them. They're just because they're omitted, they're not being done. We're not aware of them. And so for me, one of the things I worry about when I think about our new working situation is what are we not doing that we should be doing and that would happen if we're in the office space? And there's a big question mark there. And maybe these things don't really matter. But then again, it's too early to tell. Adam Grant had a piece in the New York Times, I think last weekend or recently, where he made a reference to Emil Durkheim, famous social scientist, concept of collective effervescence. Yes. And in it, he referred to that's something we've been missing. And for those of you who may not be familiar with the social sciences and may not be too familiar with this topic, collective effervescence, or as Emil looked at it, really talked about the experience people in tribes had when they came together for rituals or sacred services. And if you belong to a faith or persuasion or something, you would have probably noticed that during the pandemic, when people couldn't go to their temple or to their church or to their mosque, and they had all these online services, they complained that it was not the same. Because when you go to church, when you go to temple, when you go to a mosque, you experience this collective effervescence. Everybody there around the shared objective or goal, whether it's praying, worshiping. And you can experience this not just in religious settings, but you experience this potentially when you even go watch a soccer game, football game, or where you go and hang out with your friends. This shared feeling of joy that everybody gets because we're together. That is very hard to replicate when we're all working virtually. And some may say it's not needed, and they may be right about that. I don't know. We'll find out. But these are the types of things that we've lost as we've had to work in this new way over the last 15 months. And these are things that are extremely difficult to measure. Now, if you were in a workplace where you never experienced these things, of course, it doesn't matter to you. Like, you know, what difference does it make? I never experienced this collective joy with my teammates. And so now that I'm remote, everything's fine and I can move on. But these are some of the things, the intangibles, that we don't know how they're going to impact us as we go along. So the best thing to do, in my view, is to take an adaptive approach to this situation. It's to remain open minded, it's to be willing to learn, it's to be humble and not be so certain about the way things will play out. I see people talking with a lot of certainty about a lot of things right now. I think we should just be more humble, take this day by day, and look at how we can continue to experience joy at work, even in this new normal. So my thoughts on returning to the office are simple. We don't know what's going to happen. I think we should test and try a bunch of things and learn from them and go from there. But what I do know is that there's no substitute for in-person interaction. None. Just no substitute for it. And so that is true. As long as the relationship between two people is good, nothing substitutes for that. And so as long as that remains true, and we don't find ways to get together in person, we are going to be missing something from our interactions. All right. Thanks for listening. I'll see you all next time. Bye.